What up, Dokkanners? JP Dokkan's social media team was nice enough to friendly remind us that this is coming up in just under 2 days. The JP 9-year anniversary fan meetup is coming to YouTube in less than 2 days. February 9th at 9 p.m. Pacific is when it's going to be going live for me. I'll be going live on the channel probably about 2 hours or so before that. So make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell so that you don't miss it. I'm going to be watching, reacting with you guys, and translating whatever information that they present to us on that live stream event. Now, if you guys saw the first one, then you know that it actually takes place in 2 separate streams. The first one is the actual reveal, the fan meetup, where they go over a couple of things to kind of set everybody up for the ultimate reveal, but they don't actually go over what the unit does or the units. They only go over the fact that they are what they are. So as far as what we're going to learn, if it were to follow the same blueprint as part 1, we will learn what the units are, but as far as what they do, we'll have to wait for another one. Now, the reason that that still potentially works is the nature of the part 1, part 2 dynamic. When it comes to the anniversaries, it's not exactly the same on both parts. For the first part of the anniversary last year, when the celebration started, about a day later, the banner dropped. So this is last year, January 28th, 1900 UTC is when the 8th year anniversary started. The Dokkan Festival banners dropped a day later, January 29th at 11:18 UTC. So then you would expect that would be the same way things to take place in part 2, but that's not. Part 2 started February 9th. Where's the login? Dokkan Wiki is so scattered. So this is the limited missions here. So February 9th is when part 2 started for JP, 6 o'clock UTC. And then the banner dropped on the 16th of February. So a full week afterwards. So it's a little unorthodox. They could change it this year for whatever reason, but I would imagine there's no reason to think otherwise, that they're going to continue this tradition of having part 2's banner drop a week in. I suppose this kind of helps fill the void of potentially less content in part 2 as opposed to part 1. Maybe, I don't know the actual reason for it, but that's probably how it's going to work. So that also works with the live stream format, because the teaser, the reveal, will be on the 9th. And then the actual unit breakdown will be a week later on the 16th, or perhaps a day or so before that. So that way people can learn what the units do as they go into the banners themselves. Probably serves as a better marketing strategy than otherwise, right? So all that we care about, though, is finding out who are the part 2 units. People are probably still very busy and enjoying themselves on the JP side when it comes to playing with the Gogeta and the Broly. The new event just came out. The Memorial Movie Edition Dragon Ball Super thing just came out. So people are probably running on that, having fun. So it should be enough time for people to, you know, settle down with all this stuff and then jump into part 2. As far as who part 2 is going to be, it's superhero. It's going to be Beast Gohan Cell Max. There are several different pieces of proof that I'm going to go over again quickly in this video. This is also just going to be my final predictions. I didn't really go out on a limb in the last part in terms of EZAs. I will go out on a limb a little bit more here, set myself up for some Toon Ls, because I've been getting way too many Toon Ws right now, and it is getting to my head. I have been right about an unusual amount of things, and it's just not right. It's violating the natural order. For the universe to exist, there must be Toon Ls. If Toon starts getting Ws, something's not right. So let's go ahead and try to help that fact. Speaking of Toon Ls, I did get these wrong. I was right about Gogeta's typing, but as far as the Dokkan Festival Carnival setup, I was wrong in terms of Gogeta getting the Dokkan Festival title and Broly getting the Carnival one. If anything, I was wrong for the better, because Broly getting Dokkan Festival is definitely a big win. Villains are always getting shafted during these sorts of celebrations, so that is definitely a big W. But as far as part 2 is concerned, I'm going to just stick with this, because type-wise, I'm probably wrong. But in terms of the formatting, I think this actually works out. Having a carnival version of the super boss gives players another way to establish that leader skill. Instead of going for the 170 plus 30 format for the super boss 200%, you could just go straight up 200% with a carnival Cell Max. So this way, villains and heroes both get each value, you know, each version of the value. Dokkan Festival A, Dokkan Festival B, that sort of thing. So I think that that is how it's going to be. I'm going to go ahead and just stick to this Tech Beast Gohan Int Cell Max. We'll see what happens. EZAs, I'm just going to go ahead and say these: AGL Krillin Physical Blue Dudes and AGL SR Ultimate Gohan. Now, I didn't mention any free-to-plays in these previous predictions. Granted, most of them are pretty obvious, but I said that EZAs will include. So obviously, I could have just said Beerus. Physical LR Beerus is going to be getting an EZA because we already know that. I could have also said Int, what is it? Int Frieza that's going to be getting an EZA, but those are obvious ones. I want to go for not obvious ones. AGL Krillin Physical Blue Dudes. This will help retroactively boost the value of the Universe 7 category even more. Since we're already going to be getting that boost in part 3, I figure we might as well just continue that, since these two characters are featured on the banners currently. So let's get more Tournament of Power representation in there. We have Battle of Gods represented. We have Dragon Ball Super Broly represented. We don't have Resurrection F represented per se in terms of featured characters. So maybe, I mean, who could you even bring from Resurrection F? Everybody from Resurrection F has an EZA. So I don't know, but I feel like this would suffice. Now the AGL SR Ultimate Gohan is to just ensure that I get a Toon L. If I'm right about these, which isn't that much of a stretch, this will guarantee the Toon L for me, because this guy, if you don't know who this is the weird SR Ultimate Gohan that showed up during the Tournament of Power story event. And I don't know why, for the life of me, they decided to just shaft our boy Gohan this badly. But I mean, you know, considering part 2 will feature most likely Beast Gohan, this would be a great opportunity to give Gohan even more W's. Stage 9 of this story event gives you a Z Awakened SR AGL Gohan. I don't know why. Like, why? What is the point of this? Why on earth do you do this? I don't know. So giving this guy an SSR, TUR, I think that'd be cool. That'd be nice. So they could maybe do something to reinforce the category a little bit more. Maybe it's just my Universe 7 bias kicking in that's making me cope and wish. But hey, my copium brought Dragon Ball Super Broly into existence, didn't it? I mean, look at this, right? December 7th. I got some strong sauces, people. They're right about some stuff. They were right about worldwide download. They're right about this. So anyway, now in terms of the other clues as to why Superhero Beast Gohan makes a lot of sense, the event, the Dragon Ball Super movie edition thing, the skill orbs, or the skill orbs that are dropping for this, these are for Gogeta. When it comes to the anniversary, as established in the precedent from the 8th anniversary battle, we will be getting skill orbs for the anniversary characters. As far as who they're going to be, they were only the Dokkan Festival units from years 1 through 8, as we saw from last year's 8th anniversary battle, but we never had a Carnival hybrid Dokkan Festival celebration before in part 1. Every single anniversary has always had dual Dokkan Festival. So this year, the pattern breaks because Gogeta is most definitely not a Dokkan Festival. He's a Carnival. So that already breaks the pattern. So if they're going to be doing this, is it going to be for just the part 1s? Or is it also going to be for the part 2s? It would have to be both. Otherwise, you're not really treating the anniversary units very fairly. So that means 4 units are likely to receive EX skill orbs. And the only way to do that is to drop more missions. The only way to drop more missions would justifiably be dropping more stages. The only other stage that would work would be Superhero Beast Gohan. And then our very own Proton drops this little number, which I will discuss here. Let's start from the bottom, work our way up. A character tied to the Red Ribbon Army got his super attack animation script updated. We talked about this actually in a data download video. The revival of that army is basically the plot of Superhero. Red Ribbon Army has direct ties to our heroes. The very, you know, justification for trying to take down Gohan and everybody was because the Red Ribbon Army had, you know, I'm not going to go over the movie details, but you get it, right? Like, so this guy being part of Red Ribbon Army is enough to justify this unit getting some sort of an update. Maybe he's part of a flashback. Maybe he's part of some sort of, you know, extra cutscene within the story event that needs to be there. So if this guy is getting a script update, that is significant. Script updates are generally important and relevant. So this has to mean something. The Broly vs. Gogeta theme song strangely ends just 3 days after the release of the event. Pretty suspect. What song could come next after this? I don't know. Superhero? We had those custom animations for the Broly Gogeta summons in part 1. We already have some animations for Superhero that could drop in part 2, which would make a lot of sense. Dragon Ball Super movie Memorial Battle releases in less than 24 hours with only 2 stages. The only other movie that fits is Superhero. And this is the last thing, a little bit more abstract, but I'll try to explain this in layman's terms. Beast Gohan's character ID was revealed by the scripted event assets last year. So basically what this means, long story short, is Beast Gohan, as we infamously like to call him, Beastless Gohan, never actually had Beast Gohan. It was just an active skill. Beast Gohan never existed. It was simply an active skill. Therefore, since it's not a tangible form, you would think that it wouldn't have its own ID in the database. As with any form, if it is a tangible, usable unit, it gets its own designated ID. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, things of that nature, they would get their own ID. However, Beast Gohan does have an ID. Even though he does not have an actual tangible form, even though he is only an active skill appearance, he still has a designated ID. Why is this? I don't know. I didn't want to even bother getting into the intricacies of the programming and all that stuff because look, I'm an idiot. I don't want, that's above my pay grade. I don't want to know, or I tried to know and it hurts my brain. So I don't know the details as to why, but the fact is it is. So at some point that ID needs to be realized, I guess. And so Beast Gohan eventually has to show up. So that's kind of just another reason to add to the long list of reasons why Superhero just makes complete sense. Every other aspect of Dragon Ball Super is being covered in some form or fashion in other facets of the celebration, leaving the movies to take center stage with the part 1 and part 2 banners. It all just fits. I know people don't like Superhero. Some people don't like Superhero. I mean, this is just how it's going to be, I think. So if it is, as long as they're good, I think that's the most important thing. That will be where we can, you know, really judge and make our decisions. But as far as the characters, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point. But we will know for sure in less than 2 days. Make sure you guys are here for that, because I will probably throw out my voice again, screaming in happiness that I was right once again, because the next time I'm going to be right about something in Dokkan is not going to be for, I don't know, 2 years. We'll see. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let in the comments your final predictions on the part 2 reveals. Let me know what sort of EZAs you would think would be coming up. Do you think it is going to be Superhero, Beast Gohan, Cell Max? Let me know if you're one of those people who was adamantly against the idea of Beast Gohan, Cell Max showing up for part 2, but now you've sort of come around on it because of all the various clues. Let me know if you're one of those people. You can be honest, you don't have to if you don't want, but you know, I would love to know how many of you guys were so set on it not being that you might be a little bit more surprised that it seems like it's going to be. And then let me know your other predictions. Anything and everything else you want to talk about, let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let you know when I see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.